The diner was quiet that night, the kind of quiet where you could hear the hum of the neon sign outside and the faint clinking of forks against plates. Senator John Kennedy slid into a corner booth, pulling his coat tighter around his shoulders as if he wanted to disappear into the shadows. He had been here before, many times in fact, but tonight he came with an unusual request. He didn't want to be recognized, and he didn't want to talk politics. All he wanted was a steak, cooked medium rare, and a moment of peace. He kept his head low, glancing around at the few late-night regulars, truckers, a tired young mother feeding her toddler soup, and an old man reading a crumpled newspaper. This was his world, too far from the cameras, far from the chaos of Washington. When the waitress came over, she smiled warmly, though he could tell she recognized him. Her name tag read Clara. She couldn't have been more than 25, with tired eyes that suggested she carried burdens far heavier than her age should allow. "Steak, medium rare, with mashed potatoes?" she asked softly, like she already knew. He chuckled lightly. "Guess my reputation's harder to hide than I thought." Clara didn't press further. She jotted down the order and disappeared toward the kitchen. Kennedy leaned back, grateful for the anonymity of the booth, but when she returned with his plate, something unexpected happened. Alongside the steaming steak and potatoes sat a folded piece of paper tucked beneath the edge of the plate. He frowned, lifting it discreetly. The handwriting was shaky but deliberate. "My brother is serving overseas. He hasn't had a hot meal in weeks. Every time I see you fight for veterans, it gives me hope. Please don't stop." Kennedy froze, the weight of the words hitting him harder than any debate or press headline ever could. His fork covered in midair as he reread the note. The room seemed to blur around him, and suddenly the steak before him wasn't just dinner, it was a reminder of sacrifice, of unseen struggles, of the people he had sworn to serve. When Clara returned to refill his water, Kennedy caught her wrist gently. "Your brother, where is he stationed?" Her lips trembled as she answered, "Kandahar. He writes when he can. But to Broken Bar. It's been 3 weeks since the last letter." Her voice cracked, though she tried to hold her composure. "I just to Broken Bar. I needed you to know that what you say matters, to people like him, to people like me." For a moment, Kennedy didn't know how to respond. He was used to fiery debates, sharp comebacks, witty one-liners that drew laughter in the Senate chamber. But here, with Clara standing over him, vulnerability written across her face, none of that mattered. He reached into his pocket, pulling out a worn silver coin, a challenge coin he often carried, one given to him years ago by a Marine veteran. He placed it gently on the table. "This was given to me by a man who said it reminded him that no one fights alone. I want you to keep it for your brother, and you tell him when he comes home he's got a steak waiting on me." Clara's eyes welled with tears, and for the first time that night, her tired face softened into a genuine smile. "Thank you," she whispered, clutching the coin like it was the most precious thing in the world. Kennedy never touched the steak after that. He sat in silence, thinking about Clara's brother, about every young man and woman far from home, eating cold rations while he had the privilege of ordering dinner in peace. The diner had seemed so ordinary when he walked in, but now it felt like sacred ground because in that corner booth, he was reminded why he fought, why he endured the criticism, why he refused to give up. When he finally left, he paused at the door, looking back at Clara as she worked the tables. She caught his gaze and nodded, and in that moment, no words were needed. The message was clear: leadership wasn't about speeches or headlines as it was about people. Real people with real struggles. As he stepped into the cool night air, Kennedy knew he carried more than just the weight of politics on his shoulders. He carried Clara's hope, her brother's sacrifice, and the quiet reminder that sometimes the smallest voices, the ones scribbled on a folded note under a dinner plate out, were the ones that mattered most. And that night, under the glow of the diner's neon sign, John Kennedy walked away not as a senator, but as a man deeply moved by the reminder that service was never about him, it was about them.